All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, I will ask now the clerk to do a roll call.
Councilor Tesher.
Here.
Councilor Taylor.
Here.
Councilor Vega, absent. Councilor Teneri Garcia.
Present.
Councilor Sanigat.
Here.
Councilor Jimenez Rivera.
Present.
Councilor De Jesus.
Present.
Councilor Brown.
Present.
Councilor Recupero. Councilor Kelly Garcia. Absent. Councilor Robinson.
Here.
9 members present. You have a quorum.
Thank you. At this point, I would like to suspend the rules to allow our fire chief to join us in swearing in our new fire department. Can I get a motion on the floor?
Address the fire department. There are no
Thank you.
objections.
All right, chief?
Good evening. Members of the City Council, thank you for letting us appear before you tonight for this important ceremony. As Fire Chief, this is one of my favorite chores that I'm tasked with, is bringing new firefighters onto the job. And I hope that the leadership of this department instills in them the dedication, the commitment, and the privilege it is to be a Chelsea firefighter. These members attended Class 312 at the Mass Fire Academy in May and graduated in July. We had a little delay in the swearing in. It was probably my fault, but we're going to do it right now. These members, all born in Chelsea and all current Chelsea residents. Three members graduates of Chelsea High and one from the Voc. And without further delay, I present the following members to receive the firefighter's oath. Alexander Lozado. Ramon Pagan. Carlos Figueroa. And Felix Vega. And gentlemen, if you could just take a few steps back towards the podium so that the clerk has some room. And Madam Clerk, I call on the clerk to administer the oath.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Carlos Vega.
Do solemnly swear and affirm
Do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
incumbent upon me
incumbent upon me
as a firefighter
as a firefighter
of the Chelsea Police Department, the Chelsea Fire Department,
of the Chelsea Fire Department,
according to the best
according to the best
of my abilities
of my abilities
and understanding,
and understanding,
agreeably to the rules and regulations
to the rules and regulations
of the Constitution
of the Constitution
and laws of the Commonwealth,
and laws of the Commonwealth,
the Charter,
the Charter,
and the ordinances
and the ordinances
of the City of Chelsea,
of the City of Chelsea.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
The next part of our ceremony is the badge pinning. And again, I touched on this earlier, but it's very important, and it's a distinguished honor to wear the badge of the Chelsea Fire Department. And having a close friend or family member pin a badge on you lets your family know as well the enormous commitment that it takes to be a Chelsea firefighter and the responsibility that you're undertaking. So without further ado, I will call on Samantha Claudio, girlfriend of Alexander Lozada, for his badge pinning. Next, I call on Jovan Cintron, childhood friend of Ramon Pagan, for his badge pinning. Next, I call on Suzette Menacho, girlfriend of Carlos Figueroa. And finally, I call on Christine Serrano, fiancée of Felix Vega. And on behalf of the entire department, I want to extend our congratulations to our 4 newest members, and we wish them a safe, long, and rewarding career with the Chelsea Fire Department. Thank you, and that concludes our service.
Yes. I would like to now just take a 5-minute break so that the families can take pictures.
to take it down?
No, I'll let him.
So I'll read the resolution. Good to see you, Chief.
Good night. All right, we're ready? Who's missing?
I'll check in with her, but like, I don't know that she.
Yeah, make sure it's 3 of us there because we may
All right, counselors. Let's continue on with the celebrations this evening. Congratulations to the families and to all of our Chelsea firefighters. I would like to now continue with memoriams and celebratory resolutions.
We have a resolution introduced by Council President De Jesus and all members of the City Council celebrating the Black History Month Chelsea Trailblazers 2024. Whereas the Chelsea Black community continues to play a significant role in presenting cultural celebrations and educational programming regarding Black history to the City of Chelsea. And whereas in commemoration of Black History Month, the Chelsea Black community will host an event featuring a full program, educational activities, entertainment, and dinner on February 29th, 2024 from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Williams Middle School. And whereas during the celebration, the community will honor 5 Chelsea Trailblazers for their service to the City of Chelsea. Tracy Nowicki, Director of Elder Affairs for the City of Chelsea. Dr. Aaron Jennings, Equity, Diversity, and Excellence Officer for Chelsea Public Schools. James D'Amico, Senior of Century 21 Northeast. Jennifer Hassel, Executive Director of the Chelsea Chamber of Commerce, and Kyle, a member, a community organizer. Now therefore be it resolved that the Chelsea City Council congratulates Tracy Nowicki, Dr. Aaron Jennings, James D'Amico Sr., Jennifer Hassel, and Kyle, a member, on their selection as Chelsea Trailblazers, and express gratitude for the work they perform in promoting equity and inclusion in the City of Chelsea.
All right, y'all, my leadership style has always been to uplift the voices of those around me, and so I'm going to ask now for our Counselor Brown to please make a motion.
I make a motion to suspend the rules so we can present the certifications and the certificates to the 2024 Chelsea Trail Blazers.
Awesome, thank you, Counselor.
Thank you, Madam President. Congratulations to all the 2024 CBC members, and thank you all for what you do. Thank you for being here tonight to celebrate this here wonderful event that we continue to host in the City of Chelsea as we celebrate February as Black History Month. So we're honored to be in your presence today, but more so we're honored to have you here today. And I would like to read the names of the 5. I know one is out, but I'm sorry? His uncle. Oh, okay. All right, Mr. Martin. I didn't put your name down there, Joan Cromwell. You better, hold on, let me get my pen. My pen over there. Okay. All right. So again, Mr. Martin. Okay. So we are honored to be again here, and I want to read the resolution. I'm going to ask, as I read the resolution, that you listen. I'm only going to read 1 out of the 5. I'm then going to call the names, and I ask that you come forward. We're going to actually have a time that you can take photos, and also we're going to suspend the rules and share some time with your family for your accomplishments. We are great to be able to do this. This is something that not all cities across the Commonwealth do, but since we've had the CBC just really start to light it up, and we're doing a great job by just recognizing these wonderful folks here. Jimmy D'Amico, as everyone knows, a realtor that's been here, has helped so many people in our community. Dr. Aaron Jones. Since he's been here, he's been on fire for our school department and working to bring the inclusion and the diversity. We want to thank you for that. Jen, oh my God, since she became the president of the Chamber of Commerce, we've had all kind of events. We've worked with youth. We've done all kinds of ice cream socials, and just want to thank you for your work. And our most vulnerable citizens of this Commonwealth, and here in Chelsea in particular, Tracy Nowicki, we thank you for what you do for all our seniors here. So let's give them a round of applause. I know someone's a little mad because I went off script, but this is a celebration, so we're here to celebrate you. So let them be mad at me, okay? All right. Certificate of recognition we'd like to present to Mr. James D'Amico for your excellent service commitment to the betterment of our city as a whole community. You embody the great work, the spirit to promote equity, inclusion, education, economic development, housing, human service person here. He's gave so many people housing and worked with them to make sure they have their home, to foster our community in health and wellness. Last sentence, your resilience and your preservation and your acts of kindness and your willingness to help and go out of the way for others here and far beyond our local frontier. You are a beacon of light for all those who strive to follow in your footsteps. On behalf of the CBC, we honor you here not only with them, but with the City of Chelsea as the Black History Month 2024 Trailblazer. Just stand right there. Certificate of recognition again goes to Dr. Aaron Jennings. We ask that you come. Dr. Jones, we thank you for your leadership and also your standing by our superintendent to make sure that we continue to have diversity and favor in our students and be able to be there for our students. I want to thank you for your support and your work in our schools. Okay, Black History Month 2024 Trailblazer Certificate of Recognition, Miss Jennifer Haskell. Jen, we thank you for the work that you do on behalf of our business community, bringing them together, also letting them know what we have to offer and the partnership that we like to partner with them. Since you've been at that helm, you've done a lot of great work to bring them and continue to do your work. We encourage you to continue to do your work, and we're behind you. Thank you for your service. Recognition is presented today to the uncle, correct? The uncle of Kyle Umbry, Black History Month 2024. So Kyle cannot be with us today, but we know what he does here since he came back. He's been very active in supporting our youth with scholarship funds with the Let It Fly Classic that just exploded here in the city of Chelsea. I'm not sure if everyone knows what it is, but it's just big here in the city of Chelsea. But we want to thank Kyle and the organization for the work that they do, and also thank his uncle for the work that he's done and his leadership, and also being part of CBC, but also being at all of those events and his former years as an athlete in Chelsea High. Thank you for stepping in for him, Mr. Martin. Last but not least, Mrs. Paul Nowicki, Tracy. Tracy. Tracy's getting ready to run for office. She went around and shook everyone's hand. So Tracy, we thank you for your leadership here in our city with our most vulnerable citizens and our seniors. We know the dedication and the kindness and just the genuine love that you share with them. I've been over there on a few occasions, but every time I go there, you're there, the folks are there. I don't always participate, but they seem like they're always having a good time there. So, I know your husband, who we served together as the city council members, have also been beside your side working hard with you, but we just really appreciate what you do for our residents. I see you in that little profile, little spot that's been 3 weeks in making. You're doing a great job. Just to let the seniors know what's available. I'm very touched by that article you wrote when you were talking about one of the seniors. They were members and they didn't have a will, and how things can get a little out of hand. But you're now showing them how they need to do it so it won't get out of hand. So thank you for taking time for our seniors. Appreciate it. So on behalf of the Chelsea City Council, we extend to you the 2024 Chelsea Trailblazers. Thank you.
All right, let's take a 5-minute break for pictures. All right.
Excuse me.
All right, calling this meeting back to session.
You can keep going.
Congratulations again to all of our honorees. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Let me go. Good to see you.
Thanks
to see
again,
you.
brother.
Good to see you, Joe. Of course. My pleasure.
Okay, man. Thank you.
Take it.
All right, moving on to next order of business. I don't think we have anyone here for public hearing or public speaking,
Gavel it again.
so we will go right into approval of the minutes.
Ask for public speaking again, just in case.
1 second, Counselor. Is there anyone here for public speaking? All right, seeing none. We will gather all of our counselors back and begin or continue our business. All right, Counselor Taylor.
I move to accept accept and file the minutes under suspension if there's no objections.
Counselor Taylor moves to accept and file. Seeing no objections.
Next, we move on to communications from the city manager. We have a copy of a communication received from City Manager Fidel Maltez regarding opioid settlement stabilization fund revocation, establishment of special revenue fund. Dear councilors, in June 2023, the City Council approved the establishment of an opioid settlement stabilization fund and the acceptance of provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 40, Section 5B, Paragraph 4, allowing for opioid settlement proceeds to be dedicated directly to this fund. Appropriations from this fund would require a majority council vote of approval. Council also approved a free cash appropriation of $231,524.36 to be transferred to the stabilization fund. This is the exact amount of settlement revenue the city received in FY23. At that time, there were no other option afforded in municipal finance law to permit the dedication of these settlement funds other than a special purpose stabilization fund. Absent specific legislation, these funds would otherwise need to be credited to the general fund and not be available for further appropriation. Hence, the city requested the establishment of the aforementioned stabilization fund. In December 2023, the Division of Local Services of Massachusetts Department of Revenue announced that Governor Healy signed Chapter 77 of the Acts of 2023. Section 9 of these acts provides an exception to the general...
Counselor Taylor?
I move to waive the rest of the meeting and accept and file the communication under suspension. If there's no objection, there'll be something coming up under new business.
Seeing no objections?
Madam President, I'd like to speak on it very briefly.
Yes, Counselor Brown, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. This was an account that we established for the purpose of settlements with the funding. As it reads, some of that language has been changed. We now have to change the order of this account and move it to a different account, establish a new account. The reason we have to do this, because the public should know, is that we have to stay in compliance with state law. It also would allow us to have more flexibility. This is to continue to support the opiate addiction here. Stabilization, where we'll be able to help the navigators and the workers that actually are out there doing the job. So this gives us a continued support system of working. And I think we also should move it to a second reading so we can really figure out what we need to do in the language we need to create. So I ask that we make an amendment to move it to a second reading.
Counselor, thank you. We actually have something coming up under new business. All right, we will continue on.
Next, we have a communication received from City Manager Fidel Maltez requesting appointments to board and commissions. Dear councilors, pursuant to Sections 4-2 of the Charter of the City of Chelsea, I am writing to recommend the following individuals to board and commissions in the city. For appointment to the Cultural Council, Mr. William Kaufman of Chelsea for a 3-year term expiring February 28, 2027. I am also recommending for appointment to the Community Preservation Committee, Mr. Lawrence Hokel of Chelsea, to complete the unexpired term of Ms. Caroline Bird, who resigned. The term expires June 30th, 2024. I respectfully request your approval of these appointments. Copies of all the applicants' resumes are attached.
How does the council wish to proceed?
Second reading. There are no objections.
Councilor Robinson moves to a second reading, seeing no objections. Let's move on.
Next, we have a communication received from City Manager Fidel Maltez requesting free cash for appointments. Dear councilors, I am writing to follow up on the January notification provided to you that the Massachusetts Department of Revenue has certified free cash for the city at the close of fiscal year 23 as follows. General Fund, $20,227,777. Sewer Enterprise Fund, $4,364,082. Water Enterprise Fund, $4,020,135. These reserves reflect the city's positive financial condition. Given these surpluses, we are writing now to see reinvestment of a portion of these funds into programs, projects, and efforts that will continue to benefit our residents. We are also looking to cover some deficits for FY24 that have already surfaced. Specific requests are as
Madam
follows.
President,
Chair recognizes Councilor Taylor.
I move to waive the rest of the reading and accept and file the communication under suspension. If there's no objections, there's going to be several of these coming up under new business.
Seeing no objections, moving on to communications and petitions to the council.
We have a communication received from Councilor Kelly Garcia, delegate to the school committee, presenting Chelsea Public Schools indicators of success for January 2024.
What is the wish of the council?
Accept and file under suspension, Madam President.
Councilor Brown?
Just briefly, our counsel who's not here tonight actually stated in the last meeting that she will be giving us this information. I hope the council will take a moment to read it and update it. If we have any questions, we can speak on it later. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor.
Next, we have a communication received from the Assistant Parking Clerk regarding the agenda items approved at the February 6, 2024 meeting of the Traffic and Parking Commission.
Do I hear a motion on the floor?
Accept and file the communication under suspension as
All right. Councilor Brown?
Mr.
Accept and
Traffic.
file. Seeing no objections, moving on.
Another one.
All right, I will ask Councilor Taylor to please come forward.
Next order of business, we have a committee report received from Council President De Jesus, Chair of the Subcommittee on Conference, regarding the meeting held on February 6, 2024.
Chair recognizes Councilor De Jesus.
Thank you, Vice President. I wish to accept and file, no objection, and I wish to speak on it.
You have the floor.
Thank you. So for the community, we would like to formally introduce the Chelsea City Council priorities for 2024-2025. We had a very productive meeting last Tuesday, the 6th. We were able to share with each other our individual priorities for our community, for our city. I think that it's important that we have a document that can lead the work that we do in the city of Chelsea as we work with our city manager. I believe the last time that we were able to hold such a conversation or meeting was in 2012, and so I'm really excited to bring this back and work with my colleagues this year. I'll just briefly read the priorities that were selected. Create a master plan for economic development and zoning, improve public safety and address youth violence, address housing affordability and habitability in concerns, create a citywide parking and traffic plan, increase opportunities for youth through a community center, education programs, and workforce development, improve the condition of the city's infrastructure, roads, sidewalks, and water and sewer, address public health issues affecting Chelsea's disabled and elderly communities, students, youth, and those dealing with mental health issues and substance abuse, improve transparency in the city government, increase the level of civic engagement in Chelsea. I am really excited once again to work with my colleagues. The majority of this work will be done within our subcommittees as we all have a due diligence to really push forward these topics through those conversations in subcommittees. And again, this will be something that both the City Council and the City Manager will be actively using to guide the work that we do in Chelsea. Thank you.
Sorry. Chair recognizes Councilor Jimenez.
Yeah, just want to really quickly mention, I agree with the councilor that it was a really great meeting, and I just want to just really say everything that everyone brought up was included in some way, shape, or form in the goals that we ultimately had. I think it was really wonderful to hear everybody coming in pretty much in agreement over what the major topics that we are going to be discussing, this year, during the rest of our term, and we may all have different opinions about how we, get to solve the issues. But at the end of the day, we all have a good understanding of what the issues are in our community. So I just want to thank my colleagues on the council for the great conversations that we had, and looking forward to working with you in our subcommittees and also here to make sure that we're moving things forward.
Okay, do I have a motion? I'm sorry. Councilor Robinson, you have the floor.
Wanted to make a motion that we roll call the acceptance of the priorities on the vote of the council if there are no objections.
So ordered. Councilor Brown?
Thank you. Again, I just want to echo my fellow council members for the work that we were done at the last subcommittee. And I also want to just recognize and thank City Manager for being there. He didn't speak at the meeting, but he listened. Tonight we had his overview of his first 100 days in office, and it reflects a lot of the stuff we have discussed here in our subcommittee, some of the issues that we feel that's very important and vital to actually sustaining, making Chelsea feel safe, livable, accessible. So I want to just say congratulations on the work that we were doing here, and looking forward for it to be implemented with our city manager as he continue to lead us here. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, move to a roll call vote.
The motion is to accept the committee report and the recommendations by roll call vote. Councilor Tesher.
Yes.
Councilor Taylor.
Yes.
Councilor Vega is absent. Councilor Teneri Garcia.
Yes.
Councilor Sanigat.
Yes.
Councilor Jimenez Rivera.
Yes.
Councilor De Jesus.
Yes.
Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Councilor Recupero. Yes. Councilor Kelly Garcia is absent. And Councilor Robinson.
Yes.
9 members in favor, none opposed, 2 absent. The committee report and council priorities are adopted.
Madam President, you have the chair.
For next order, we move on to second readings. We have a communication received from City Manager Fidel Maltez being read for the second time, requesting reappointments to board and commissions. Dear Councilors, pursuant to Section 4-2 of the Charter of the City of Chelsea, I am writing to recommend the following individuals to boards and commissions in the city for reappointment to the
Chair,
Councilor
I said
Brown?
we waive the rest of the readings. We move to adopt under roll call vote. We had this second reading. We've actually looked at them.
Seeing no objections,
What's his name?
let's move forward.
roll call vote is requested. A yes vote is to adopt. Councilor Tesher.
Yes.
Councilor Taylor.
Yes.
Councilor Vega is absent. Councilor Teneri Garcia.
Yes.
Councilor Sanigat.
Yes.
Councilor Jimenez Rivera.
Yes.
Councilor De Jesus.
Yes.
Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Councilor Recupero. Councilor Kelly Garcia is also absent. Councilor Robinson.
Yes.
9 members in favor, none opposed, 2 absent. Appointments are approved. We have an order introduced by Councilor Taylor being read for the second time. Order that in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53A, the Chelsea City Council hereby authorizes the city manager to accept the $150,000 grant from the Massachusetts Clean Energy Technology Center.
Madam President,
Chair recognizes Councilor Taylor.
I move to bring this out of the Ways and Means Committee and adopt by roll call vote.
Seeing no objection, we'll move on to roll call.
A yes vote is to adopt. Counselor Tesh.
Yes.
Counselor Taylor.
Yes.
Counselor Vega is absent. Counselor Teneri Garcia.
Yes.
Counselor Sandikit.
Yes.
Counselor Jimenez Rivera.
Yes.
Counselor De Jesus.
Yes.
Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Counselor Recupero. Counselor Kelly Garcia is absent. Counselor Robinson.
Yes.
9 members in favor, 0 opposed, 2 absent. Order is adopted. We have an order introduced by Counselor Taylor being read for the second time. Order that in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 64, Budget Management Procedures, whereby costs incurred in FY23 were not paid and are owed to the vendor, and to meet this obligation, funds are required from the current FY24 budget respectfully as noted. The City Council authorizes the following expenditure to satisfy the unpaid balance from the prior year. For FY23 from DPW in the amount of $15,364.60 from Weston and Sampson for Upper Broadway service design.
Madam President, I move to bring this out of the Ways and Means Committee and adopt by roll call vote, and I would like to just speak briefly on it.
You have the floor, Counselor.
Okay, so this was the order that allows us to pay last year's bill that wasn't paid this year. So, when this came before committee, we talked about the reasons for this happening. Sometimes things just slip through the cracks. The city manager has assured us that going forward, we're going to try to stay on top of these things so that we don't have to pay last year's bills this year and in the future. But we do need to, it is legitimate expense, and we do need to pay our bills. So I thank the city manager for his diligence in this matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. We'll proceed with a roll call vote.
The yes vote is to adopt. Counselor Tesh.
Yes.
Counselor Taylor.
Yes.
Counselor Vega is absent. Counselor Teneri Garcia.
Yes.
Counselor Sandikit.
Yes.
Counselor Jimenez Rivera.
Yes.
Counselor De Jesus.
Yes.
Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Counselor Recupero. Counselor Kelly Garcia is absent. And Counselor Robinson.
Yes.
9 members in favor, 0 opposed, 2 absent. Order is adopted.
Moving on to new business. Yes, Counselor?
So I would like to take all the financial orders, 24F34 through 24F48, and just basically, if you can read how much they are and what they're for, and then I would ask that we can refer all these to the Ways and Means Committee.
Okay, Counselor Taylor moves to group 24F 35
34.
through 24F48. Seeing no objection.
First order. Now therefore be it ordered that the Chelsea City Council approves the revocation of the vote to establish a special purpose stabilization fund for opioid settlements in the amount of $231,524.36 and approves the transfer of said funds to a special revenue fund for opioid settlement funds. The next order that the Chelsea City Council authorize the appropriation of $160,000 from free cash to the fiscal year 2024 DPW Streets and Sidewalks Road Improvements account. Next order that the Chelsea City Council authorize the appropriation of $31,000 from the free cash to fiscal year 2024 Parking Department Automobiles account. Next order that the Chelsea City Council authorizes the appropriation of $40,000 from free cash to the fiscal year 2024 DPW Streets and Sidewalks Contract Services account. Next, order that the Chelsea City Council authorizes the appropriation of $332,000 from free cash to the fiscal year 2024 DPW Streets and Sidewalks Other Capital Account for construction activity to restore the quiet zone in Chelsea. Next, order that the Chelsea City Council authorizes the appropriation of $400,000 from free cash to the CIP fiscal year 2022 Central and Willow Water Sewer Roadway Construction Account for utility work related to the Central Avenue project surrounding the Inez development. Next, order that the Chelsea City Council authorizes the appropriation of $10,000 from free cash to the fiscal year 2024 DPW Streets and Sidewalks Streetlights account. Next, order that the Chelsea City Council authorizes the appropriation of $8,000 from free cash to the fiscal year 2024 DPW Streets and Sidewalks Traffic Signals account. Next, order that the Chelsea City Council authorizes the appropriation of $22,000 from free cash to the fiscal year 2024 DPW Structures and Grounds Lighting account. Next, order that the Chelsea City Council authorizes the appropriation of $40,000 from free cash to the fiscal year 2024 DPW Streets and Sidewalks Vehicle Maintenance account. Next, order that the Chelsea City Council authorize the appropriation of $40,000 from free cash to the fiscal year 2024 DPW Solid Waste Trash Pickup Disposal account for debris disposal. Next, order that the Chelsea City Council authorize the appropriation of $170,000 from water retained earnings to the fiscal year 2024 Water Enterprise Other Capital account for the Admirals Hill Water Pump Station Fire Suppression System. Next, order that the Chelsea City Council authorizes the appropriation of $86,500 from free cash to the fiscal year 2024 Legislative Department regular salary account. Next, order that the Chelsea City Council authorizes the appropriation of $35,000 from free cash to the fiscal year 2024 DPW Structures and Grounds overtime account. And finally, order that the Chelsea City Council authorizes the appropriation of $100,000 from free cash to the fiscal year 2024 DPW Streets and Sidewalks overtime account.
Thank you, Clerk. Chair recognizes Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Madam President. Just for clarification on the first order, 24F34, because this is an amount of funding that's going to a new established fund, should we have a second reading on it? Does this require a second?
It is going to a second reading.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, we
It's
have to
already in the
make
second
sure.
reading. It's fine.
To the next.
Next order of business, we have an order introduced by Council President De Jesus. Order that the Chelsea City Council approve the warrant for the presidential primaries to be held on March 5th, 2024, as attached.
Councilor Robinson calls for a roll call vote.
A yes vote will be to adopt. Councilor Tesha.
Yes.
Councilor Taylor. Yes. Councilor Vega is absent. Councilor Teneri Garcia.
Yes.
Councilor Sanigat.
Yes.
Councilor Jimenez Rivera.
Yes.
Councilor De Jesus.
Yes.
Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Councilor Recupero. Councilor Kelly Garcia is absent. And Councilor Robinson.
Yes.
9 members in favor, none opposed, 2 absent. The warrant is approved.
Thank you, Clerk.
Next, we have an order introduced by Councilor Recupero. Order that the city manager and director of constituent services look into new methods of informing residents of Chelsea about street closures and diversions due to construction or infrastructure work.
I thought under suspension, if there's no objection, I'd like to speak on it.
Chair recognizes Councilor Recupero.
Now, I don't know how to begin. We are all of us work for the people of the city of Chelsea. We should be able to make their lives better because that's what we're here for. We're here to make quality of life for them better. I know that the city has to work, and I know that they have to fix it, and I know that everything works in that sense. But I also know that the people of the city deserve a better quality of life. Our city is a small city, and it has a lot of one-ways. And what it does have is a lot of sections. If you shut one section, then you don't know where to go. And everything just, it's bad. I know that the Department of Public Works has 48 hours before they even say anything to tell us what goes on. But I believe that it should be a better communication because I see it happening many times that they shut the roads and the people the next day or the day after don't know where to go anymore because it's all confusing. So this has been going around a long time. I understand, but I also believe that it is our job to make better quality of life for the people that we represent. And how to make a better quality of life for them is to make life simpler and to make it easier. That is the best way that we can help the people here. It's not to say, the city says, okay, this is what you have to do, and no one can change it. Yes, we can change it. We can turn around and make a better way for our own constituents, for the people of our city. So, our city, like I said before, is small. There's so many arteries where you can go. If you shut one of these major arteries down, the whole city gets bogged up. So why not allow the people to know in advance? I know that you have 48 hours. But as a courtesy to the people, maybe you could do it even a little sooner, because I think DPW, everything that works in our city goes through them. They have to approve, they have to do all that. So if they would like to make it easier for us, it would be better. And also something else. We have an ordinance that says, I believe we do, me and former Councilor Lopez, we put an ordinance that says any vehicle that is able to move, trailers and small equipment and woods and everything, cannot be left in the street. If they can move it, they should move it. I can understand big equipment with big tractors that can't be moved. They are allowed, but you can't leave a little trailer that hooks up in back of a pickup truck. What you're doing is you're inconveniencing the people that are living in our city. I think we do have an ordinance that says that these things have to be removed, but I don't see that happening. Why ain't these things being enforced? That affects the quality of life of the people. Our city doesn't have that much parking. If you take away that parking, what do? You inconveniencing them. Our job is to facilitate them and make their lives simpler and easier. Why complicate it more? So what I'm asking for is maybe a little courtesy from the city from now on to give a better, to tell the people faster, put it that way. It's simpler to put it that way. To tell the people faster that this is what's going on so the people can be prepared. That's all I'm asking for.
Thank you, Counselor. Moving on to the next order.
Next, we have an order introduced by Councilor Recupero. Ordered that the Traffic and Parking Commission look into the possibility of implementing 2-hour parking limit or resident parking only signage in the area of Highland and Suffolk Street.
Like to adopt on the suspension, I'd like to talk about it.
Chair recognizes Counselor Recupero.
Okay, what it is the people have been asking me, as soon as this 22-wheeler opens up, there's going to be a lot of cars. So what they want to make sure is that their parking spot is saved. That they don't want all these people that are going to be working in this factory or visiting this factory to take up the space. So what I'm actually asking for is not much. I can do two things. I think you could do two things. One, you can have, like they do have near the courthouse, which is 24 hours resident parking for certain streets that are going to be affected. And the next thing you can do, if the Parking and Traffic Commission decides to, I know that you can go get 2 visitor pass, you can get them in advance. That's part of, I know, I understand all that. But you can also put, a certain section, you can say maybe 2-hour parking limit, where anybody that visits you, that doesn't, you can't get a resident, something for them to stay here, the visitor's pass, they can stay there for a couple of hours. So there's got to be a compromise between both. I'm not asking for anything more than just try to make life better for the people that are here. That's it. So there's nothing wrong with asking that. And I hope that the Parking and Traffic Commission decides that that's the way to do it. You've got to be fair on everybody. And I believe fairness and the quality of life for people in our city is the #1 priority of all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. And that brings us to public announcements or any moment of silence. Counselor Robinson and then Counselor Brown.
Just very briefly, I'd like to thank the Museum of Science for giving the City of Chelsea an opportunity to attend the museum on Saturday free during Black History Month. There were quite a few families from Chelsea that did take advantage of it. This was a great opportunity for the City of Chelsea. I just want to thank them publicly.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Brown.
Thank you. Just want to let the public know that we are closed tomorrow. The schools are closed. This snow is supposed to come in the morning in the a.m. 4 a.m. is supposed to start. It's probably not going to look like much throughout the night, but, we don't want you to get out there and get caught. So please be careful tomorrow if you have to go out. It's going to be some snow accumulating from 4 a.m. until 1 p.m. in the afternoon. So if you have to go out, be careful. But again, the children, no school, stay home, be safe, and parents, enjoy them.
Thank you, Counselor. Moment of silence. All right, I have Counselor Recupero.
I'd like to say a moment of silence for my aunt, Elaine Rizzo. She passed away today. And for my friend, Elsa. She passed away yesterday. So, thank you.
Okay. Meeting adjourned.